Hare Krishna, everyone, and I welcome all of you to this class, Bhagavad Gita Level 2 class. So this is going to be very interesting. Just give me a minute. Okay, so Bhagavad Gita Level 2. So this is a continuation of Bhagavad Gita, 18 chapters in 18 days, whatever we have done as a part of Gita Rising Star or Gita Gyan 18 chapters in 18 days. So this is a natural continuation for that. So in this classes, we are going to talk about Bhagavad Gita in detail. So just like the format is going to be very similar to that of what we did before. The difference is we're going to take this in detail. Okay. So I want to know, like, first of all, let's begin this. Okay. So first of all, welcome to all of you. Hare Krishna. So how many of you here would like to learn Bhagavad Gita in detail? Please raise your hands. Okay, that's nice. And how many of you want more practical explanation of the concepts of Bhagavad Gita? Please raise your hands. Okay, thank you very much. So my name is Sri Hari Sridhar Das, and the name of this class is Bhagavad Gita Level 2. And I'm going to do this class every Wednesday at 6 p.m. So every Wednesday, we're going to meet at 6 p.m. for this class. So what is going to be a part of this, we will discuss. So what is in it for you is, what are you going to learn in this course is, we're going to go through each of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita, starting from chapter 1 till chapter number 18. And we will try to explore in more detail, more concepts of Bhagavad Gita and try to understand them with simple examples. So it's going to be a very wonderful session for sure, because there is a lot of learning for you. So what I would suggest is, if you can get a pen and paper and you can actively sit down and you can even take some notes, because there's a lot that we're going to cover every day. And I don't want to rush into this too much also. That's the reason why I will try to complete chapter per day, per week. But sometimes if it's going to take longer than that, let's do it at that speed itself. That's how I would like to think at it, because some chapters may be too heavy and I don't want that I just stuff it in and finish it off. Okay. I want to make sure that you understand everything that we are discussing. Okay. That's very important, that you understand what we are discussing, right? So Srila Prabhupada always used to say, understand whatever you're learning, try to understand it. That's very important. Okay. So that's nice. So I've been doing these classes, right? So you all know me, and I've done level 1 classes, level 2 classes. Some of you are from Premamai's class. Some of you are from some other classes that you took from Gita Gyan level 1 classes. Okay. What's the duration of this class? Each Wednesday, it's going to be like 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Okay. I'll try to keep it to 1 hour, but sometimes the discussions may go beyond 7 p.m. But what I would suggest is, for those of you who have to go back to your work or you have something to do after 7 p.m., you can go ahead. So from my side, I will ensure that by 7 p.m., the teaching part is done. Okay. I'll try to do that. There's definitely a lot to cover, but if it's taking a lot of concepts, then I'll postpone it to the next chapter, but I'll ensure that I'll finish it in 1 hour. Okay. So it'll be like 1 hour session, but maybe if the questions extend, it can go up to another 15 minutes. Okay. So that's what I mean. It's every Wednesday. We'll take it from 6 p.m. to almost like 7:15 p.m. Is that okay? Okay, everyone? Okay, type Hare Krishna.
Yes, sir.
Okay, type Hare Krishna. I'm seeing a lot of people, a lot of you here. Hare Krishna to all of you. Yes. Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much for joining. You could have been doing anything else right now. Wednesday evening, you're busy. You just came back from work, or maybe you're relaxing. You could be having it's your relaxation time. You could be doing anything else, but then you are here. So I want to ensure that when you are going to go back every day after attending this session, you will learn a lot. I'm going to make sure that I deliver my commitment. Okay. So from your side, what I want is, I want your commitment that you will come to the classes regularly. So type 100% in the chat if you're 100% committed to coming to these classes regularly. Okay, please put 100% in the chat. Okay, so I want to keep this interactive, so you have to keep chatting with me, putting in the chat most of the time. I'm going to ask you to put in the chat, so you have to type in the chat whenever I ask you to do. Okay, type 100% if you're sure that you are going to come. Yes, it's not that you're coming for today and you'll be disappearing for the whole class. No, it's not going to be like that. It's definitely very interesting classes. I'm sure you love them. There's a lot to learn. Even if you have heard this before, level 2 class, some of you have, so coming from the earlier batches, still it's definitely a very good refresher to do this all over again. Okay, so how many of you are ready? Just type ready in the chat that you're ready now, that we're going to start the class now. Okay, all right. So just for the next class, okay, today's class we are doing it Wednesday. Every Wednesday is going to be the class, but let me tell you clearly, I have a conflicting appointment or a commitment for the next Wednesday, so I won't be able to join the class. So that class we will have it on Thursday 6 p.m. only for the next week and the next week, just as an exception, because for the next 2 weeks I have something conflicting on the calendar for Wednesdays. Is that okay? Only for the week number 2, week number 3, Thursday? Is that okay? Just type in the chat. Okay. I know that you understood it. Okay. Next week and the next week, Thursday we'll do it, but generally it's going to be on Wednesdays. Okay. So let us begin this wonderful journey. All right. So we'll jump straight into chapter number 1, Bhagavad Gita level 2. So here we go, Gita Gyan level 2. I hope you're able to see the slides. So ISKCON Sheshadripuram presents Gita Gyan Essence of Bhagavad Gita level 2. So Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. So these are the deities of ISKCON Sheshadripuram. A lot of you have visited it, but if you have not visited, please do come to the temple and do take obeisances and take darshan of the lordships. Here is Jagannath on the right and Baladev on the left, and in the center is Subhadra Mai. Jagannath is Lord Krishna, Baladev is Balram, and Subhadra Mai is their little sister. Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra Mai ki jai. Below that is Nitai Chaitanya, Nityananda and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, Nitai Chaitanya ki jai. On the left, Parshuram Bhagavan, and right, Vaman Dev. On the extreme right, Panchatattva. And between Subhadra and Jagannath, you see someone there. Okay, that's Jagannath again. Okay, Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are there. Short, small Utsav Murti is also there. And I also want to, and on the right side, on my right side or to the left side of Jagannath, you see someone. There's one stick there. What is that? Anybody knows? What is this? What is this?
Sudarshana.
Yeah, Sudarshan. Yes, Sudarshan Bhagwan ki jai. Wonderful. All right, let's all start with the prayers. Om Agyanatimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. All right. So this session is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We are inspired by His Holiness Jai Pataka Official Master and GBC, Srila Jai Pataka Swami Maharaj ki jai. All right. So let's start with this slide. Okay. So when you're learning Bhagavad Gita, you should know what is it that you're going to learn. Okay. There are essentially 5 topics that you learn. Type in the chat 5. How many topics? 5. 5 topics that you're going to learn. Okay. Here you go. The first topic that you're going to learn in Bhagavad Gita is Ishvara. Ishvara means controller. Ishvara means controller. Anybody can be a controller, right? You may be a controller of your house. But here we are speaking about the supreme controller, Parameshwara. Okay? Or the controller of the universe, Vishweshwara. Or the great controller, Maheshwara. So this Ishvara is a special Ishvara. He is the Ishvara of all the Ishvaras. That's why we are calling him as Godhead. Prabhupada has termed this terminology Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gods, there may be many, but Godhead, there is one. That is the head of all the gods. That is Ishvara we are going to talk about. We will understand about Krishna himself in this Bhagavad Gita. Now, tell me something. If I have to understand about you better, how do I understand about you? What is the best way to understand about you? What do you think? If I have something that I want to know about you, or maybe about your opinion, who is the best person whom I can consult?
Myself.
Yourself.
Yes.
I can directly schedule an appointment with you and ask, can you please tell me what's in your mind about this topic? And then you're going to say, you're the best person to tell about yourself. So similarly, if you have to understand about God, if you have to understand about Krishna, the best person to speak about is God himself. So this Bhagavad Gita is very, very special because it was not spoken by anybody else other than Krishna himself. So Krishna himself is speaking about himself. Therefore, this is very important. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Ishvara. The second point is Jiva. So Jiva. Who is Jiva? We are all Jivas. All the living entities around us. So many thousands of types of species around us. Thousands and millions and trillions and lakhs and lakhs and lakhs of species all around us. All of them are Jivas, living entities. And these living entities are connected with the God, Ishvara. How are they connected? Some say they are equal. But if they're equal, then there's no need of Bhagavad Gita. Isn't it? Just think about it. If all the living entities were equal to Krishna, if Arjuna was equal to Krishna, then why should Arjuna go and waste his time and sit down and ask Krishna to explain Bhagavad Gita? Arjuna can just sit down and meditate and say, okay, Krishna within me, or you can say just, I am Krishna, okay, let me manifest Bhagavad Gita. Okay? This is not the right, proper understanding. The Jiva and Ishvara, they have a relationship. The relationship is that of the part and the whole. Part and the whole. Just type in the chat, part, P-A-R-T. So what is a part and the whole? I will explain now. Let's say there is a big factory. So within that big factory, there are so many machines. Within the machine, there is one screw. That screw is a part of the entire machine. So similarly, if you consider the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the whole, we are a small part of that whole. So all of us have to be aligned with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now that's when we are aligned with the whole universe. Otherwise, we are not. So like this, there are similarities between Jiva and the Ishvara. Okay? Part and the whole. Let me tell you another example. It'll be clear. Let's take the example of a gold mine. A gold mine and a golden ornament made out of the gold mine. So recently there was an incident, right? Many people were trapped inside the mines and they have recovered them with a lot of effort, right? Okay, so we are talking about a gold mine here. If there is a gold mine and if you extract a golden ornament out of it, will you say that the golden ornament is equal to the gold mine? Type yes or no in the chat. Is that the same? Can I say, okay, I have, let us say, one golden ornament with me. Can I say, okay, this ornament is same as the mine? No. Can I say that this golden ornament and the gold mine, they have similar characteristics? Can we say? Yeah. Characteristics similar. There are some similarities between the living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because the living entity also has no birth or no death. And Krishna also has no birth and no death. Okay, Krishna also doesn't have any birth or any death. So that way, we can see that Krishna and living entity are connected. So no birth. Krishna has no birth, no death. Living entity, soul, has no birth, no death. But Krishna is still distinct because he is Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. Nityo, this is the Upanishad mantra. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bahunam Vidadati Kaman. That means among the eternals, he is the eternal. Eternal among the eternals. Chetanas Chetananam. Among the conscious beings, he is the most conscious being. Just like this, there may be many stars, but among the stars, there is only one moon. Stars, there are infinite stars, but moon, there is one moon. Similarly, Supreme Lord Krishna and the living entities, they are all connected with each other like that. Okay, so that's the topic number 2. That is, we will understand more about the soul. The soul, what is who is Krishna, who is God, and who is living entity Jiva. And let's go to the next one, Prakriti. So Prakriti is nature. Everybody has got their own nature, right? For example, what is the nature of a snake? Can you put it in the chat? To do what is the nature of the snake? Bite. And to do what is the nature of a dog? Type in the chat. What does a dog do? Generally, most of the time, bark. A dog is barking, a snake is biting. So this is called as nature, Prakriti, right? The inherent nature of the living entity in that body is like that. A living entity who takes a snake body feels like biting. A living entity who takes the body of a dog feels like barking. So that is called as the Prakriti, nature. Okay. So that is how it is. So we are all trying to understand our own nature, our own Prakriti. We are all affected by this Prakriti, Trigunas, Maya. So we are all affected by that. That is nature. All right. So the next part is Prakriti is that, and then karma. So one of the topics of Bhagavad Gita is karma, where you understand the philosophy about karma. What is karma? What is vikarma? What is akarma? How to protect ourselves from karma. So just tell me something. Is karma a good thing? Yes or no? Just type in the chat. Is it good to have karma? Is it good to have karma? Yes or no? Okay. We have divided opinions. It's good to have karma. It's bad to have karma. So there is a little bit of divided opinion. Okay, let me tell you. As long as you have karma, you have to come back to the material world. So now tell me, is it good to have karma? Yes or no? Yes. So as long as you have got balanced karma, you have to keep coming back to the material world. That's why we have to clear ourselves of karma. And Krishna is going to teach us that exact secret. How do you work in such a way that you do not incur any kind of karma, good or bad? That's the secret of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. That's one of the topics. And the 5th topic is Kala. That's time. Time as per the Vedic culture, is it linear or cyclic? Put in the chat. Does it repeat itself, or it's just linear? Linear or cyclic? Does it repeat? I mean, let's say that we got Kali Yuga right now. Is it the end of it? And there was a beginning and there's an end. That's it. And there's no going to be any repetition. Or is it going to be a cycle? Okay, time is cyclic, right? There is a creation of the universe happening, maintenance of the universe, and destruction of the universe happening at the scheduled time. Krishna is going to explain in Bhagavad Gita what is this time, how powerful it is, how is it connected with God, and what is the function of this kala. All right. So these are the 5 topics. Ishvara, that is Supreme Lord. Jiva, living entity. Prakriti, the 3 modes of material nature. Karma, the action, the fruitive action. Kala, the time. 5 things we will learn. Okay, type 5 in the chat. 5 subjects that we have learned so far. Okay, now let's go to the next slide. So how do you have to read Bhagavad Gita? Okay, let me ask you something. What is the spirit of understanding Bhagavad Gita? Let's try to understand this. So there are many doctors also here in this room right now. So I will ask them, if there is a medicine given, how should we take that medicine? Can I take it as I want it? Or should I take it as per the instructions given by the physician, as per what is given on the label of the medicine? What is the better thing to do? Yes, sure. I'll share the recording. Yes. So what do you think we should do? I'll just get a cough syrup and then drink it. I'll be feeling sleepy. Some people do that, right? Is that the right way to take medicine? As per doctor's advice, as per the instruction of the doctor. So Bhagavad Gita also is a medicine, and the way you have to take it is as given on the label. All right. Okay. So now here we go. So there's going to be a lot of reading here. So I need some volunteers for reading. Can
Sir,
anybody?
can I read?
Okay. Fine, Lakshit, go ahead. Go ahead and read this, please.
If we want to take a particular medicine, then we have to follow the directions written on the label. We cannot take the medicine according to our own will or the direction of a friend. It must be taken according to the directions on the label or the direction given by a physician. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita should be taken or accepted as it is directed by the speaker himself. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So Lord Krishna is the physician. He's Dhanvantari, right? You remember the pastime of churning of the milk ocean? So Lord Krishna appeared as Dhanvantari. So the original physician, and with a pot of Amrita, right? And he gave Ayurveda to the world. So now Krishna is a physician who is treating our disease here, the disease of taking repeated birth and death. And the medicine that he has got, the pot of Amrita that he has got for us here, is Bhagavad Gita. And now if you have to take Bhagavad Gita, you have to take it in the manner that Krishna suggests, because he is the physician here. We can't whimsically take Bhagavad Gita as we want and still expect results. You can take, however, you are free to do whatever you want, but then you can't expect the results that it is expected to give, or you can't expect the best results that the medicine can give. There may be results, but you want the optimum, best, ideal, expected results, then follow the speaker. The speaker is Lord Krishna himself. All right. So let's go to the next slide. So now, how do we understand this Bhagavad Gita? And who can understand Bhagavad Gita? Let's see that. See, why did Krishna first of all choose Arjuna? Let's just think about it. There were so many people in the war field. Even Bhishmacharya was there, Dronacharya was there, Kripacharya was there, Duryodhana was there, Karna was there. So many people were there. And outside the war field also, there were so many people who were religiously doing their sadhana in the forest. There were many sannyasis, brahmacharis, vanaprasthas. So many saintly people were there. Then why Krishna had to choose Arjuna, and why he had to deliver this message of Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of Kurukshetra? So that's something that you have to reflect upon. Why did Krishna choose Arjuna? There's a reason for that. So because Arjuna is the best student for her, that's Bhagavad Gita. So that means that if you have the attitude as that of Arjuna, then you are fit for receiving Bhagavad Gita. But if you have the attitude as that of Dhritarashtra or Duryodhana, that, okay, let me just see what Krishna is saying and I will reject it, then there is no use of that knowledge. So do you get that? Why Krishna gave it to Arjuna? Type Arjuna in the chat. Because Krishna loves Arjuna, because he is his friend and he is his devotee, and he knows that if Krishna is going to give this message to Arjuna, he will accept it. Okay? So that's the beautiful part about it. All right? So, okay, let's do one thing. Let's just go to the let's go to the first verse. So here is chapter number 1, Bhagavad Gita, observing the armies on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. That's the first chapter. All right. How many chapters are there in Gita? How many of you know that? 18 chapters. Okay. How many shlokas?
700.
700 shlokas. All right. So let us start with the shloka number 1. All right. Here we go. Bhagavad Gita shloka number 1, chapter number 1. Who is going to start this? Let's see. I would expect Bhagavad Gita, if it's a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna, that maybe Krishna would start directly. Say, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha or Sri Krishna Uvacha. Sri Krishna is speaking and Bhagavan direct. But twist. This is Dhritarashtra speaking. Let's see what is he asking. It's a question. Okay. Here you go. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kim Akurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, "O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra desiring to fight, what did they do?" I don't know what, but this shloka itself gives some kind of goosebumps, right? It's like the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, and it has got nothing to do with spirituality. I mean, at least apparently, the question that he asked was a very simple question. Dhritarashtra was a person who was very much attached to his son, Duryodhana, and all he wanted to know was, who is going to win? That's it. Is it the Kauravas winning or Pandavas winning, or whether this war is happening at all or not? Okay. So this is the context of Bhagavad Gita, that here is a war setting between the Pandavas and the Kauravas. They are standing in midst of all-out war on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, and the battle is just about to begin. And Sanjaya is narrating this, whatever is happening on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he is narrating it to Dhritarashtra. It's almost like a relay, just like how we watch a match, right? We watch a recording of a match, right? Like that. He's asking, so what happened? Tell me what happened. What did they do first? So that's the reason why, that's how it's happening, right? So let's see what is the question and a little bit of more analysis about this shloka. Dhritarashtra is sitting in Hastinapura. Hastinapura is in today modern day Delhi. Okay. The war, Kurukshetra, is happening in Haryana. Kurukshetra, you can still go. There is a railway station there, and it's like a pilgrimage place. And there are a lot of people who visit the place. Even the place where Bhagavad Gita was delivered is there. Kurukshetra is in Haryana, and here is Delhi, Delhi to Haryana. The war is happening in Delhi. And Dhritarashtra is asking to his secretary, you see the picture, who is the blind man here? He is Dhritarashtra, the father of all the 100 Kauravas. And his personal secretary is Sanjaya. Sanjaya is the disciple of Srila Vyasadeva, and he has got a special power. You tell me, what is that special power? Put it in the chat. What is the special power? He got something special, right? How is he able to see this? Yeah, Divya Drishti. Yeah. So like he has got divine vision. Okay, that's given by Vasudev, that he can see exactly what's happening in the war field. every detail, blow by blow. He can even see what everybody is speaking, what is going on in the each and every person's mind in of the warriors of that battlefield. That is the gift that Sanjay has got. And now he is being asked by Dhritarashtra to him. Who is asking? Dhritarashtra is asking. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha. So now, what is the point behind this? I mean, why is he asking that? Okay, let's go one by one. Let's just go with the Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra means, Rashtra means kingdom. Dhritarashtra means he's stuck to the kingdom. He just doesn't want to give up his chair. He has been appointed on a temporary basis to take care of that kingdom because he was blind. He was not eligible to become the king. So his younger brother Pandu was made the king, and his younger brother Pandu, he also expanded the kingdom. But then somehow, due to some unfortunate circumstance, he passed away. So as a makeshift arrangement, Dhritarashtra was made to sit on the kingdom throne. But then he doesn't want to step down the throne. That's why he's called as Dhritarashtra. And here are some characteristics of Dhritarashtra. Okay, what is the first characteristic of Dhritarashtra? We all know he was physically blind. Physical blindness is all right, but then what's more worse than that is he was spiritually blind. Type SB in the chat. Spiritually blind. So what is that? Spiritual blindness. Spiritual blindness means not able to see beyond whatever is material. You see, for example, a lot of people, they don't appreciate spirituality. They just say, I don't know why you people are behind this Bhagavad Gita and all the spiritual stuff. You talk about some things which don't exist at all. You people are always talking about something which doesn't exist. They say that. Okay? For them, the question that you have to ask is just one question. Is death real or it's not real? Is it true that everybody has to die? Yes or no? Yes? Is that for real? Or is it that some people will die, some people won't die? Is that true? No. So they say as sure as death. So if death is a reality, then is it not your responsibility to know where you are going to go after death? Is it not your responsibility to find out what is the best that you can do for this life and for the next life? So that's why if somebody says that you're talking about something which is not true, then you have to ask, do you believe in death? That's it. So if you don't believe in death, spirituality is not for you. There is no need of any spirituality. Let's just close all these books. There's no death at all in this world. But this material world is a world of death. So those people who say these kind of things that, Bhagavad Gita, all this, I can't see anything, they are Dhritarashtra. Spiritually blind because they're not able to see beyond what is matter. I'm just seeing the person. I'm just seeing the body. That's it. I'm not able to see beyond it. I'm just seeing the car, but I can't see the driver within the car. So there's somebody within the car who is driving it. Similarly, within this body, there is somebody who is driving this vehicle. This vehicle has a body. Within that, there is somebody. Within everybody's body, there is someone. That's the soul. Right? But Dhritarashtra simply denies that. So therefore, he is spiritually blind. At the same time, he is weak-minded. And he is biased. And despondent. Despondent because he has no hope. Why doesn't he have hope? Can anybody put in the chat, why does Dhritarashtra have no hope? Because of whom does he think that there is no hope for him? You can guess, it's okay. Why is he so hopeless? Because of whom? Arjuna, Krishna, Dhritarashtra, Duryodhana.
Lord Krishna is backing Pandavas.
Okay,
that is why.
Yeah, Krishna is there. Krishna is supporting Arjuna or Duryodhana. Who is he supporting? Krishna.
Krishna is supporting the Pandavas.
Krishna is supporting the Pandavas. And who has a majority?
Dharma.
Okay, they are on the side of Dharma. And who has the majority army? Kauravas or Pandavas?
Kauravas have the Yadava army, but
Okay.
Krishna
Kauravas.
is yeah.
Krishna, they have how many? I mean, in proportion. How many Akshauhini?
11 Kauravas and 7 Pandavas.
Then who should win?
Kauravas.
Kauravas should win. But then why is Dhritarashtra feeling so despondent? He's hopeless.
Because Krishna is there with the Pandavas.
Yeah, because somewhere he knows that wherever Krishna is there, victory is going to be on that side. He knows that. But still, he is going against hope. That is because of his spiritual blindness and because of all his negative characters, of his attachment towards his evil-minded son. So that's the reason why he cannot accept the reality and he's not able to take the good instructions of Lord Krishna. But at the same time, he knows that Kauravas are not going to win the war. But still he wants Kauravas to inherit the kingdom. So how is it possible? What is the scenario in which Kauravas can continue having the kingdom without having to fight? Can you tell me?
Rightfully, if Kauravas had given their the Pandavas their proportion of land to rule, they could have avoided the war, and thereby both of them could live peacefully.
Perfect. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to even lose a little bit of it. That's the problem there. What is the other hope that you want? That's the other hope. I'm just telling you, see, there's a cricket match. Okay, let's say India versus Australia. And let us say Australian team is very strong. But still, you have hope for something, that something happens. What is that something that you expect?
Bowlers should bowl well and
no,
good
or something
pitch.
else, yeah, something else should happen, like something else, like in the middle of the match, it should
Maybe
rain.
lightning, it's the
It should-
Australian team. Lightning
should
is the
rain.
Australian team.
It
And
should
they
rain.
play.
It
Yeah,
should
that's
rain.
extreme. Lightning hitting is extreme, but it should rain. Maybe
Rain.
something like, okay, the match should start, the match should go on, but in the middle it should rain and the match should be abandoned. So such a way that, they find out and they say, okay, finally India is winners. Okay. So something like that. So Dhritarashtra is having a hope that the war does not happen, but yet the Pandavas are defeated. So how is it possible? When is it possible? So it is possible. He knows that these people are very, very kind and they are very religious people. So if they're going to be in this religious place of Kurukshetra, because they know Yudhishthira Maharaj is very pious, Arjuna, everybody, they're all religious, they're very nice people. Okay, maybe their mind will change. They'll think that, okay, why should we really fight about this matter? Let's not fight. Let's just give it up. Okay. And they say, okay, I'm not going to fight. So that's what he was expecting, right? So that's inside the mind of Dhritarashtra, that Arjuna would actually give up fighting, that and just give it away directly and just say, okay, we surrender. Just take the whole thing. Happens, no, sometimes. It even happens sometimes, we see. I mean, there is extreme greed. Think about it. Extreme greed. You'll think like that. Sometimes it happens with us also. Just remember that situation where there are two portions, okay, and there's lawfully you are supposed to get only one portion, but then within you're feeling, I just wish that the person doesn't come. I just wish that the person doesn't come. I just wish that the person doesn't take it. It's mine, it's mine, it's mine. Happens with you, right? Right? So that's what Dhritarashtra is feeling, because he just wants the whole thing. He's not ready to share it. So that's the greed within his heart, that he's expecting something miraculous to happen here, that these Pandavas somehow abandon the whole thing. They abandon the whole idea, and without any bloodshed, they just surrender and they go away. And they say, okay, you are my brother. Why should I fight with you? Just take whatever you want. Just take it and we leave from here. Okay. Let's see. What is this Kurukshetra? Kurukshetra is a very interesting place. It's just not an ordinary battlefield. All right. Kurukshetra is a sacred place of pilgrimage. Okay. Even today, people go to Kurukshetra on a special day. Do you know when? Can you put in the chat? there is a special day or a special occasion when people go to Kurukshetra. Only during that time they go.
Lunar eclipse or solar eclipse.
Eclipse, especially solar eclipse. So whenever there is solar eclipse, it is recommended in the Shastras that we must go to Kurukshetra and we must do a charity there and we must do some kind of religious performances to the ancestors. This is the recommendation of the Shastra. So it's a very religious place. And you know what? Why is it so religious? Why is it so special? Lord Parashuram, he performed great sacrifices there after killing the Kshatriyas of the world 21 times. So this Parashuram, Lord Parashuram is the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he took up this mission to exterminate all the Kshatriyas forever. So that's the reason why he killed them. How many times? Put it in the chat. 21 times. 21. Type 21 in the chat. So 21 generations, he just went and challenged them in a war lawfully. It's not that they were sleeping and then he killed them. No, he will challenge them to a war and they are fully ready to fight and they've accepted the challenge. He will fight them and he will kill them. That's what he did. Why he did that? That's a long story. Okay. Because the Kshatriyas, they had become very, they forgot their religious duties and they became very violent towards the Brahmanas. So that's the reason why the Supreme Lord wanted to teach a lesson to all of them. That's the reason why he did that. Okay. That the rulers should not become so excessively, what do you say, irreligious or so proud that they forget their religious duties. Okay, so Parashuram wanted to put them in their place. Okay, so the blood of all these Kshatriyas which came, which formed 5 lakes there. All right. So now this Kurukshetra, why is it called Kurukshetra? Do you see there is some similarity here? Kauravas and Kuru. What's the connection between Kauravas and Kuru? Anyone? The word Kaurava is coming from the word what? What is the root word for Kaurava? What is the root word for Pandava? And why are they called Pandavas? Why are these called Kauravas?
Kuru and Pandu.
Yes. So they're called Pandavas because they're coming from, they are the sons of Pandu Maharaj. That's why they are Pandavas. But you see, this is the dynasty of Kuru, Maharaj Kuru. That's why they are called Kauravas. Technically, even Pandavas are also Kauravas because they belong to the same dynasty, Kuru. But just for our differentiation, to differentiate these two people, we say Pandavas and Kauravas. Okay, but technically, Kuru means, Kaurava means the person who is coming from the dynasty of Maharaj Kuru. And it's called Kuru Kshetra. Kshetra means an agricultural land. So here, the Maharaj Kuru, he performed the tilling of the land. Okay, he tilled the land and he took the Yamaraj buffalo and Lord Shiva's bull. What a combination, you see. He took Lord Shiva's bull and Yamaraja's buffalo and he plowed that land. And it's like a kind of metaphorical kind of a thing. It's not physically doing it. But out of which 8 virtues have come: truth, yoga, kindness, purity, charity, forgiveness, austerity, and celibacy. Okay, Indra was very pleased by this act. And then he gave 2 boons. How many? How many boons did Indra give after he saw Maharaj Kuru plowing the land? 2. What are they? Anybody who dies in this land, if they're going to fight in this land and die as a warrior, they're going to go to the heavenly planets. And or either they have to fight and die or they have to die in penance. 2 options. 2 options there. First option is that Kshatriyas. What about?
What does penance mean?
Penance means the yogis, they sit down in meditation and they decide their time of death. They sit down and then they are able to bring up their life air, one chakra to another, and they're able to leave it out. Okay, they are the advanced yogis. Okay, that is penance. I mean, they're doing a lot of austerities, tapasya in Sanskrit. So they're doing tapasya. So those people who are doing tapasya, in that land, they'll go to the heavenly planets. And those people who even fight there, and if they die in the battlefield, they will go to the battlefield. They'll go to the heavenly planets. So that's the reason why this place was chosen. Why are we talking about it? Is because, see, everything about Bhagavad Gita is important. This place is Kurukshetra. The place where Bhagavad Gita was spoken was a religious place. If this was an ordinary war, we would not be discussing it here. There are so many wars, isn't it? There are so many historical wars between, for example, Muhammad Ghazni and somebody, Shivaji Maharaj and somebody. So many wars are there. Jhansi Lakshmi Bai, I don't know, Cholas. So many wars are there in history. I'm not a great fan of history, but we would not be discussing all those material wars. Okay, because this is not a material class. This is a Bhagavad Gita class, a spiritual class. But anything that is related with Krishna is spiritual. You get that? Because Krishna is the absolute truth. And everything in relation with Krishna is spiritual. So this Bhagavad Gita is spiritual, and this Kurukshetra is also a very spiritual place. It's a powerful place. That's what we're trying to emphasize here. Okay. So this is Kurukshetra. It's a very special place where this war has happened. It's not just ordinary. All right. So now coming back to the plot, what's going on? So now we saw that it's a land of Kurukshetra, and the Kauravas and the Pandavas are assembled here. And then Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjaya, okay, now that these two people have come together, what are they going to do? What did they do next? That's the question that was asked. He asked, Kim akurvata Sanjaya? That means after having assembled, what did they do? So he wants to find out detail, blow by blow detail of what exactly happened there. Tell me, narrate me. And then Sanjaya started to speak. All right. So what did Sanjaya say? Let us see. It's going to be very, very interesting. Any volunteers for reading the shloka and the translation? Nagamini Mataji, you want to read?
Yes, Mata. Yes,
please go ahead.
पश्येतां पाण्डुपुत्राणाम् आचार्य महतीं च मूं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता. Hare Krishna.
The translation also, please.
O my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu, so expertly arranged by your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So what's happened here is, you see on the right hand side, do you know who is?
Bhishma
Duryodhana.
Pitamaha?
Yeah, is Duryodhana. On the right hand side is Duryodhana. On the left hand side is
Bhishma
Drona.
Pitamaha.
No, it's
Oh,
Drona. Drona. All right. So first thing that Duryodhana did was, as soon as he saw the formation of the Pandavas, you see, it's called Vyudha. Vyudha means a Vyuha. Chakra Vyuha is an arrangement. Okay, so they used to fight in arrangements. It was a very advanced science. The warfare, the Vedic warfare is a very advanced science. Okay, so there is a way in which they will do a formation. Just like in schools, they do a formation, right? I mean, if you see from the top, you will see they'll be making a flower formation, lotus formation, formations, right? So like that, if you see from the top, you will see some pattern. Okay, this is a pattern in which the army is assembled. So each pattern has some pros and cons. So if you arrange them in certain way, certain configuration, there is a certain benefit for it. Sometimes it is aggressive, sometimes it is defensive. I mean, if you have to understand in the cricket field, right? So if you're setting the cricket field, there are different ways of setting the cricket field, right? So you can put it in a defensive way, offensive way, or you can put it in the more people on the off side, more people on the leg side. So every configuration, there is a thought process behind it, strategy. Yeah. So that's what it is. So Pandavas have made a nice strategy and nicely made a formation for the day. And Duryodhana was actually burning in envy. And he was feeling very fearful also that he's going to lose this war. So as soon as he saw that, to cover up his fear, he went to his teacher, Dronacharya. Dronacharya is the teacher here, right? So, commander in
army-
chief. Yes.
And army chief.
Army chief is Dronacharya or Bhishmacharya for the first few days.
First few days, Bhishmacharya.
Bhishma, right?
Hmm.
Bhishma was in the beginning, right? Next is Drona, next is Karna. I think so. Right? So he goes there and he's saying, okay, look at this wonderful formation that, he's telling in a sarcastic way. Now he's doing sarcasm towards his teacher. And he's saying, wow, what an army. Oh, you know who? Oh, okay. You know who did this? It's your intelligent disciple, the son of Drupada. That's how he's saying it. Vyudham Drupada Putrena Tava Shishyena Dhimata. Wow, wow, wow. So beautiful. Your own disciple has done this mess for us. It's like that. Okay. So, what is he trying to say? Okay. I'll just tell you now. We'll have to understand a little bit more about Dronacharya and his quarrel with Drupada, the king of Drupada. So, what happened? You see, school is a place where people of all backgrounds come and stay there, right? It happens, right? So sometimes there may be a son of a chief minister also be there. It's possible that the son of maybe the security guard also may be there. In the same school, they are wearing the same uniform and they are good friends. There's no problem as long as they're young, right? But then as the time progresses, and like this son of the chief minister is at some other level, you can't even talk to him now. Okay. But now if you happen, maybe like it's like 50, 60 years right now. And now let's say that he's a great chief minister or some great minister of India. Now you can't address him the same way that you used to before. Okay. It depends on person to person. Some people may be still the same for their friends, college friends. Some people are not the same. Okay. So, but I can't address him and say, I can't call him by his childhood name and say, hey, Chotu, Motu, come here. Right? I can't say, you remember, I gave you one eraser. We used to exchange pens. So, okay. So I can't speak it that way. Not always it's possible. Not everybody are so plain. Okay. Drupada was like that. And then Dronacharya and Drupada were like nice friends in the school. And Drupada used to say casually that I am a great prince of the great kingdom. Okay. So anytime you have any problem, right? Dronacharya, Drona, you have any problem? I know that you're a Brahmana, you have to beg for subsistence. Just come to me, I'll take care of you. All right. He says that. And then Dronacharya, he took it seriously. All right. So Dronacharya, he was very poor and he was not able to get arms. And his son Ashwathama, literally, he could not even feed him milk. And he was like feeling very sad about his poverty. So he thought, okay, why not me? Why not I just go and meet my old friend? Okay. So then he decides to go and meet Drupada. Okay. Not everybody is as magnanimous as Lord Krishna. You remember what happened when Sudama came to Krishna? Sudama, Krishna came running and he received him. Right? But here is Drupada. It's a material world. Nobody is as perfect as a Supreme Lord. So Drupada, a normal person, a normal human being, I won't say he's evil or bad or I can't judge him, but he's a normal person who is just taken up by, he's carried away by his own greatness. He's now a very big king. So he sees that, okay, Dronacharya is coming in a very destitute state and he's saying, okay, I am his friend, I am your friend. And he's saying that, you remember, we were childhood friends and now Drupada is feeling very embarrassed about it. And he says, I don't know what kind of friendship you're talking about. Friendship is between equals. Do you realize that? We are not equals. Okay, my economic status is different. Your economic status is different. We can't be friends. You can't call me your friend. That was childhood. Okay, that was something else. You can't continue that now. Something like that. So he said, that's fine. I just came to visit you. I thought maybe I'll ask you for some donation. He said, all right, if you want some donation, yeah, everybody, so many beggars come, Brahmin beggars. I will just make sure that you'll get some of your alms. Okay, you go. So he insults him in that way. Dronacharya is really insulted by this treatment. Okay, he didn't like it. Who would like it? Would you like it? If you visit your friend, if your friend treats you like that? So obviously he didn't like it. So he said, okay, all right, then let us see who is equal to you. Okay, you're saying I'm not your equal, right? I'll show it to you what it means to be an equal. And it happens that in future, Dronacharya, he collects his disciples, Arjuna, Pandavas, and Kauravas, and he says to them that, you know what, it's the time for you guys to give me Guru Dakshina. And my Guru Dakshina, I don't want any money. I want you to go and fight a war with King Drupada, tie him, arrest him, and drag him to me. That's my Guru Dakshina. And let's see who does it. I mean, my real student, my sincere student will do that. So Arjuna, Kauravas tried it, Duryodhana tried it, he was not successful, unfortunately. Okay, Arjuna did that. Arjuna was successfully able to arrest Drupada, and he brought him in front of Dronacharya, and he said, here is your captive. Okay, you can do whatever you want to do with him. So at that time he says, all right, so now the entire kingdom is mine. So somebody said to me that we are not equals, right? That I'm a poor person and you've got such an entire big kingdom. All right, now let me think, how do we become equals? I've got the full kingdom with me. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll give you half of the kingdom back to you. Okay, so half is mine, half is yours. Now we are equals. And then he sends him back. So, but of course, he says that in a not so vengeful manner, but he's taken in a very negative manner. But he just says that, okay, now that we are friends, now will you be my friend? Was something he was trying to say, Dronacharya. But he took it in a very negative sense. Okay, Drupada took it now like it's such an insult for me. I'm feeling so ashamed that I've been defeated like this. And my only aim of life now is to kill Dronacharya. That's it. And so therefore I shall perform some fire sacrifice now. And he performs a fire sacrifice, and he gets Draupadi first, and then he gets this Drishtadyumna, the son, he gets a son. And then the only thing that he asked in the fire sacrifice, that was not a sacrifice made in the mode of goodness for the pleasure of Krishna. It was a sacrifice made in the mode of ignorance, because he wanted revenge. He was seeking revenge. So he wanted an instrument of revenge. So that was Drishtadyumna. And later, when Drishtadyumna became young, he sent Drupada, he sends this Drishtadyumna to Dronacharya to learn warfare from him. Can you believe that? To defeat him. So will you teach such a person? If somebody is coming to you to learn warfare to defeat you, will you teach such a person? Please put in the chat. Let me see. Will you do that? Is there anybody who is very magnanimous, who is ready to teach to the son of an enemy who wants to only defeat you? That's the only purpose. But Dronacharya was so magnanimous, and he was such a nice Brahmana, that despite of knowing that Drishtadyumna's only goal is to defeat him, he agreed to do that. Okay, he said, all right, I will teach you, because you have come in a humble way and you're in a very nice humble manner. The way a student is supposed to come, you have come, and you have got all the good qualities that a student should have. And because you have the qualities and you have come with the attitude to learn, I am going to teach you. And then he teaches him very impartially, without hiding anything. He teaches just like all the other students. So that is the greatness of Dronacharya. Okay, so now what do we do? It's 7 o'clock now. Should we stop here and break here for questions? What shall we do? We'll break for questions and continue the session next time. Next Thursday will be the next session. Okay. Okay, let's break now. Okay, let's not just overstuff ourselves. All right. It's okay if it takes time. Fine.
Thursday or Wednesday, Prabhuji?
Mataji, every Wednesday, but only for the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Let's do it Thursday, because I've got another personal commitment.
Sure. Okay.
Only for the next 2 weeks. After that, we'll be back on track on Wednesday, 6 p.m.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's take some questions now. Any questions that you have that you want to ask? If you want to turn on your video, you can turn on, or you can just share your realization. So how many of you felt that, this class was very nice or interesting? You liked the class. How many of you liked the class?
It is, of course, interesting, Prabhuji. Though no matter 1,000 times you hear to this
Yeah.
Bhagavad Gita, still it is new for us. Each and every sentence is new. Yes,
Absolutely.
Prabhuji.
Bhagavad
Yes.
Gita is fresh. The reason why it is fresh is because it's relating to Krishna, right?
Directly spoken by the spiritual.
It was spoken by Krishna
Supreme.
and it is related to Krishna. Anything related to Krishna is always fresh, like Krishna. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. So yes, anybody wants to share your realizations or anything that you want to just talk about? I mean, how was your journey, or any questions that you have or you had, or anything, you can bring it up here.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, for each chapter you will take 2 sessions, Prabhuji. 2 or 3.
Might take 2 sessions. I'm thinking most likely it's going to be 2 sessions because the slides are very big. If you have to do it straight, it's going to take 1.5 hours class. Okay, it can be a little more. That's what I understand from the past experience, that 1.5 hours becomes too heavy. I don't want to do that. Okay, might take 2 classes, most likely.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you.
All
Hare
right.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So yes, any questions anybody has, anything, any open loops, anything that you want to know? Yes, Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, why is Bhagavad Gita called as it is?
Okay, why is Bhagavad Gita called as it is? That's a nice question. You see, Bhagavad Gita was spoken by Lord Shri Krishna 5,000 years ago, and actually speaking, there's no need for any interpretation of Bhagavad Gita. You see, what is the meaning of an interpretation? Interpretation is something which is given, but you are trying to make a understanding out of it. I mean, if there is something like straight, I just say you something very straight, that this is this. If you don't want to take it straight, then we start interpreting it. That, okay, actually, when you say that this is this, it's not this. This is not this. That is not that. This is this. That is that. This is called interpretation. Okay. So there have been a lot of interpretations in the past for Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita is a favorite for every writer. I mean, everybody wants to have their own Bhagavad Gita. You see, there's somebody, there is a very famous mythologist. He has written the book called My Gita. Okay, that's the extreme fun. Okay, My Gita. Now he has made it his own Gita now. Okay. So that's what that's the problem. We don't want this kind of interpretations. If we keep on, everybody tries to interpret Gita in their own twist. So it's like, for example, if I like working, I will say work is worship. That's what Gita is teaching. If I like non-violence, I will say non-violence is everything. Krishna is teaching non-violence. If I like friendship, I will say friendship. Krishna is teaching friendship in Bhagavad Gita. We see this WhatsApp forwards these days, right? Krishna will come and speak anything. Anything that the script writer will say, Krishna will speak. So this is not Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is what it is as it is. Whatever Krishna has spoken, straightforward it is. So that's the reason why Srila Prabhupada, he wrote this Bhagavad Gita as it is, to just give the straight meaning of each and every verse of Bhagavad Gita, instead of trying to interpret it as per the tradition or as per the ideology of the author. All right, that's why it's called as it is. Does it answer your question? You got your answer? Did I answer you? Hare Krishna. Okay, let's go to the next question. Okay, let's go to the next question. Anybody? Okay, we have a question. What is celibacy? One of the 8 virtues. Celibacy is brahmacharya, and there was something very nice that I had made notes. Okay, celibacy is one of the virtues, and Celibacy is something, it's actually directly translated to brahmacharya. Brahmacharya. So what is celibacy? I'll just tell you what are the different aspects of it. It's very important that people understand about celibacy. All right, I have it here right in front of me. So there are 8 forms of celibacy. Okay, to restrain or abstain from union of opposite genders, that is called as celibacy. That's called brahmacharya. And brahmacharya is one of the powerful spiritual practices. That is like a restraint taken. Okay. Now, there are 8 points that should be not done in brahmacharya. Thinking about, talking about, suggestively insinuating about, watching others engaging, affirming a desire for, wooing others for, meeting in private for, or engaging oneself in union with the opposite gender. These are the 8 forms in which the celibacy is broken. How many of you have never heard this before? We generally think that just engaging in the act is breaking the celibacy, but I just put it in the chat. Even the 8 of this, any one of this, even if you think about it, talk about it, suggest about it, or even desire for it, it's actually breaking celibacy. Okay, so that's so powerful. So that's why brahmacharya is very much suggested in all the spiritual practices, especially in the Vedas, especially for the brahmacharis and for the vanaprasthas and for the sannyasis, and even for the grihasthas, to have a restraint and in a regulated manner. Okay, we'll discuss about this sometime else. Right, thank you. What's the next question? I hope that answers your question. Is that clear? Okay. Next question. Yes, Mataji. What's your question? Okay. Now, yes, thank you. All right. Now, who can summarize what you have learned today? I want one of you to just tell your takeaways. Who would like to tell your takeaways? What did you learn today in the class? Raise your hand. Please raise your hand. Whoever wants to give like what you learned today in the class, in the Bhagavad Gita level 2 class, whatever we've heard, what have you heard? Who can speak? Who wants to share? It can be anything. You don't have to exactly repeat the whole thing, but whatever you've learned, one point, you can say. Who wants to say? Please raise your hand. So who is doing it? Anyone? Okay. Yes. Amrita Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
First,
Mataji.
we learn about five points from Bhagavad Gita that you spoke. That is Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Karma, and Kala. Then you started the slokas. The first sloka that Sanjay is speaking, that how he is able to see, he's got the divine vision. Then how how Dhritarashtra's qualities you told about him, that he is blind and spiritually is blind again, and he is not confident about himself, and 2 more points, I'm not recollecting that. Then how he is asking in the Kurukshetra about what's happening and all. Sanjay is telling him. So the Dhritarashtra is hoping that there will be no fight and they will get the kingdom, everything back. That's all I understood, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. A big round of applause for you. Thank you. Thank you, Amrita Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else? Anybody else wants to add something?
Prabhuji, will
I'm sorry.
about
Yes, go on.
Kurukshetra.
What's Kurukshetra? Yes. We spoke about
Okay.
what is Kurukshetra, right? Yes. What else?
It's a very sacred place
Sacred place
where,
Kurukshetra. Yes.
where the Lord Parshuram he killed, I think, some Kshatriyas.
Right.
And there are 5 rivers of blood of Kshatriyas there. And whoever is killed there or takes birth there, it's very good for, like, very good place
Yeah,
for
it's a
that.
very religious place, and where Parshurama killed, he performed fire sacrifices there after killing the Kshatriyas. All right, yes. Who's going next?
Prabhuji, we also learned how many, what is Bhagavad Gita and who spoke Bhagavad Gita, when did Bhagavad Gita spoken, and how many shlokas are there, how many chapters are there. We learned about it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. All
Hare
right.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Tell me.
My takeaway from this today's chapter was that Prabhuji, fathers 5,000 years ago also and father of today also, blind in love with the children. Even if it leads to disaster, they are blind.
Mataji, you're overgeneralizing everybody as Dhritarashtra. Okay.
No, sorry, Prabhuji, I didn't mean it that way, but it usually happens. You see, many of them are Dhritarashtra even today, Prabhuji.
Okay,
when
yes,
it concerns their children, even if they know that it's not good for the child, even Dhritarashtra knew that it wasn't good for their child. He could have given those 5 villages for the Pandavas and settled the matter, but he didn't.
Right.
Because he loved Duryodhana so much. It's same nowadays also, Prabhuji. I've seen that so much in my life also.
True. That's a nice.
I'm not saying all the fathers are like that, Prabhuji, but 98% they are like this.
All right, fine. That's a nice parenting.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji.
My father is an exception, Prabhuji.
Yeah, he's in the 2%. Yes. Okay. Yes. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Mataji. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
So I have a question, Prabhuji, regarding
Yes,
this.
please.
When Mataji told about that, so I remembered that once I was discussing some Bhagavad Gita related matter with my husband. So he said that if Krishna was the God, then why did he, like, because of him only everything happened and the bloodshed and all. So if he was the God, then why did everything happen on the Kurukshetra? Like, he was the God, he could have stopped the war and everything.
Yeah, the deeper question to this is, if God is in control, why doesn't he control everything? Or is he really in control or not? That can be like a deeper philosophical question that we can take from this question.
Yeah, means if he is the God, then why didn't he stop all the bloodshed? He could have done something to stop all the bloodshed and killing of all of these people and all. But then he didn't stop. In fact, because of him only everything happened. So then how is he a God? That's what he was asking me. And I was not able to answer this.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. So the thing is, see, no matter how, do you agree that in the material world, everybody has to die? Do you agree to that? That everybody has to die, whether it is with bloodshed or without bloodshed, one has to anyways die. Correct? Now, even if, let us say, there was no Kurukshetra, are there wars? Okay, now there is no Krishna, but Krishna is not either here. But then today, as of now, when we are talking, there are 12 wars that are going on in the world. Why are they going on? There's a deeper question. Okay. So was there any time in the past where there were no wars in the world? If you think about it, just think about it like that. Was it like, okay, 50 years back, was it the time like that? Or will it be 100 years later? Or 1,000 years back, 1,000 years back, 5,000 years back? There was never a time when there were no wars. Including starting from Satya Yuga, there was always conflict, there was always bloodshed, there was always a war. The reason for war, the deeper reason for the war, is because of the modes of material nature. Two people who are passionate, there are two people, A and B, who are both claiming that I am the owner of this, I shall enjoy this land. There is another person who is saying, no, I am the rightful owner of this, I shall enjoy this land. So these two people will clash inevitably, always they'll be clashing. So no matter whether, Krishna is going to be present here or he's not going to be present here, the wars are inevitable. Okay, that's the nature of the material world. So that's a deeper thing. So the material world is always filled with conflict and war. Okay. So Krishna, he's coming here, the God who is unborn, he comes to the material world for performing a pastime. And that pastime was removing a thorn with the thorn. How do you remove a thorn with a thorn? So what does it mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? Removing a thorn with the thorn. If you have to remove a thorn, what do you need?
We need a needle.
You need a needle. You have to remove it with another needle to be able to pluck out whatever the needle is there, that has to be plucked out with a needle. So similarly, the purpose of Lord Sri Krishna incarnating here was that the Mother Earth goes and files a petition with Lord Brahma that there are so many irreligious kings who are there. There are many irreligious kings who have become a heavy, weight for the Mother Earth because of their irreligious principles. Who are they? Jarasandha and Shishupala and this Kauravas. Like that, all of these people, especially Jarasandha and Shishupala, Kamsa, like this, there were so many Yavana, Kala Yavana. There were many, many people, many irreligious kings who were completely infesting the Mother Earth, making it a very heavy thing. I mean, Mother Earth cannot take the weight of irreligious people. So the kings will always be there. Wars will always be there. Wars will always happen between the kings. We cannot stop that. When Lord Ramachandra was there were wars. In Satyuga, there are wars. There's no place when, because this world itself is a place of conflict. This is material world. This is not spiritual world. It's not Vaikunta. Vaikunta means no anxiety. Here, everybody is fighting for dominance, just like two dogs, territorial. A dog is entering into another dog's place, the dog will start barking. You try to go into somebody's place, you try to go to a country without a visa, they will arrest you. So this is what is the mindset. Okay, in the material world itself is like it's mine, me. If you come, I'll be aggressive. Trespassers shall be, what is it? Trespassers shall be
Prosecuted.
prosecuted. And in the America, they said trespassers will be shot. Okay. So if you trespass for just plucking up fruit, they will shoot you. So this is the mindset people have. This is the mindset that people of the material will have, living entities. So they are going to fight. So Krishna has to remove the thorn with the thorn. So these people who have become very religious, Krishna appears to be a human being. He comes as if he's a Kshatriya king. He performs strategy just like a Kshatriya king. And out of that strategy, he kills so many irreligious kings, and he eliminates their armies. And he designs this war of Kurukshetra, that a conflict happens between the Pandavas and Kauravas, and the entire world will be a part of this conflict. And all those people who are on the side of irreligion, they are all exterminated. Okay, so that's the higher purpose. So that's why Krishna says, when Arjuna asks, who are you? He says, Kalos loka kshaya pravruddho. He says, I am the eternal time who has come to kill everybody who has assembled on this warfield. So that means one of the understanding, we are not able to understand who is God. God is saying, I am death personified. So God is death also is God only. Is not different from it. So we think death is some evil thing. No. But for the devotees, death is not an evil thing. Death is Krishna himself. Are you able to understand that? Kala is Krishna. So even if the death is coming, that is also Krishna. Ultimately, it's a soul has no death. Okay, we'll come to that in the second chapter. So this is the thing. So I mean, our philosophy, our understanding is slightly different. When we think about the world, when we think about everything, it's a different thinking. But the reality is different. That's what we have to understand. That's why we are suffering. The reason why we are suffering is there is a mismatch between the reality and our world. What the world I think it is and what the world really is, there's a mismatch. That's why I'm suffering. You see? Yes, Mats.
So Prabhuji, in the why the war happened, whatever the circumstances were, so was it planned by Krishna himself that Like,
See,
for example,
apparently,
when
see,
Duryodhana was walking and he fell down, so Draupadi started laughing at him. So he was very angry. Then he took the revenge and everything. So was this all planned by Krishna, or
it's actually planned by Krishna. He was a war strategist. He
okay?
wanted this war to happen. But apparently, if somebody argues that, okay, he wants violence, you can tell them that Krishna, he made all his attempts to be a peace ambassador, right? He goes to the Kauravas and he's agreeing to take only one village for each of the Pandavas also, right? So he's gone for settling out the peace as well. It's not that he just accepted the war immediately. So he tried his best also to stop the war. But then the war did not stop. Or you can actually say, yeah, Krishna really wanted the war, because the war should happen, because only when the war happens, Krishna will be able to eliminate all these people. Okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
Krishna
So
is
what
very smart.
I interpreted was that because Krishna wanted to say the Bhagavad Gita on the battlefield of
Absolutely.
Kurukshetra, so that's why
Yes.
he made the war happen.
Absolutely. You can think of it like that also. See, those people who have died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, they are all dying in front of Krishna. Just remember, imagine that. Just imagine that. Isn't that a great thing? Krishna is there in the battlefield and they are passing away in the same battlefield where the Supreme Personality of Godhead is there. So, when they are going to pass away, all of them went back to Godhead. Do you know that? In Bhagavatam it is said, including Kauravas, Pandavas, everyone in the assembly of that Kurukshetra, everyone who died, he went back to Godhead. They all went back to Godhead.
Okay.
Because they were all remembering Krishna at the time of death. Okay, so that's like it's like a pastime he performed to deliver all these people. Okay, so this is like the inner meaning. Yes, thank you for that question, Hare Krishna. All right, okay then, thank you very much for joining, and thank you so much for joining, and we'll connect again coming Thursday this time. And we'll continue with the first chapter and we'll complete the first chapter by then. All right. So till then, please read Prabhupada books, read Bhagavad Gita as it is with you, and chant your rounds of Hare Krishna mantra as much as you have committed to. Okay. If you have committed so many rounds, try to chant at least so many rounds for that day. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Prabhuji, I have one.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji, I missed a level 1 course. What was there in the level 1, Prabhuji?
In the level 1 course was similar to this one, but it's a little bit shortened version of it. We just discuss about the gist of the chapter. This is a little bit more in detail.
Okay,
I can give you the recordings. You can go through that.
Okay, but another thing I wanted to know is, so that means we have to do the shloka and purport beforehand, before coming for the class? Is that what is expected?
It's not really a necessity, but after the class, I will suggest that you go through it, at least after the class. That will help you.
Okay. Now, I have not filled up any form, Prabhuji, and any payments to be done for the courses? As
such, there's no payment that we are taking. Maybe if you would like to donate, maybe towards the end of the course or the mid of the course, you can donate towards the Gita Gyan Shastra Dan link we will share. You can donate towards that if you feel like donating.
Okay. So will it be possible for you to share the first level, Prabhuji?
Yes, I will share you the first level link.
First level. And today you did, how much did you cover, Prabhuji? Or today, I just joined now.
No problem.
You know?
I've covered till verse number approximately 20, you can say.
Oh, okay.
Or fine. 20, 15, 20 like that, yeah.
So that means it's better if we read it once and come, no?
Yes, it will be helpful for sure. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. That is read the verse and the purport, correct?
Yes,
Translation and purport.
Yes. Sure.
That's what. Okay. And next week it is on Thursday.
On Thursday 6 p.m.
But we'll finish before 8, no, Prabhuji, because we have
absolutely. Definitely.
Because we will have the JSS, no?
I know, absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, then
Much
thank you,
before that.
Prabhu.
What I
much-
committed is 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., 15 to 20 minutes or 30 minutes questions. That's it. I mean, the main content will be finished within 1 hour. That's it.
1 hour. Okay. So it will be nice, Prabhuji. Satyam Nayak, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for joining.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Dandavat Pranam. Thank you.
Dandavat Pranam.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for joining. We'll see you again next week.